I have this image. I will create a new layer, and with my polygonal lasso tool, what I'll go ahead and do is create an area of light. So you can kind of see here how the light is coming into the frame. So I'll select the whole image, that area, come down here, and about right there. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and fill that with white. Got my white paint bucket, selected colors white, and I will fill that with white. Go ahead and press Ctrl D, as I'm using a Mac, to deselect. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the blur, add Gaussian blur, and you can see how the edges are starting to get a little bit more fuzzy. Light has fall off in different areas. It's not completely straight. It does start off straight in this area, and then in this area would get really, really faded. So let's go ahead and just add something like this. Right now I'm at 35. I'm going to go to about, let's go 50. Can live with that. Press OK. Now it's too bright, so what I'm going to do now is start to adjust the opacity. Right now I'm about 70, so I can kind of see what's going on. I bring it down. It's pretty heavy, but this is for a tutorial purpose, so not a big deal. One thing that you can do is create dust particles. So you can go and what I'll do here excuse me, is duplicate this layer, because you'll be using it later. Okay, so layer copy 1. Let's go ahead and label it dust particles. What you want to go ahead and do is add some noise. Now you want to take that, uncheck the monochromatic. Actually make sure it is selected, otherwise you will get different color, get the magentas and the blues in there. Select uniform instead of Gaussian, and you just need to bump it a little bit. Right now I'm at 16.57%, and as you can see, you got kind of dust particles there. Click OK, and you can adjust that as so later. Okay, but as for now, we'll just delete that or unselect it, and let's go ahead and work with the rays. So now what you want to do is grab a brush tool. I usually tend to go with the soft brush, and go ahead and start here at the corner. Right now I'm about 18%, and I will click once, shift click, and start erasing. Shift. Actually, let me lower the opacity. 18%. Start with a bigger ray. Come down. And as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm just adding in lines, just kind of like in the other tutorial, but this time it's just going to be on top of the image. I'm not going to actually create a brush. Just continue to create those rays. Sometimes, now I got all my rays that are coming from one side in the same direction. But you want to start doing is kind of start just going halfway now in different spots. And you can sometimes change the direction. Let's see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can get the gist of it. Starting to look pretty good. I'm liking it. Keep in mind, I used to use a graphic tablet, but didn't use it as much as I recently, so right now I'm using a mouse. But if you had a graphic tablet, it would make things easier, I should say. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here now is grab my lasso tool again. I'm going to take from the outside edge and kind of come out like this. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is get my eraser tool, and I'm going to bump up the maybe to about 42, and I'm going to go ahead and click and see how I click more in the middle here. Let me zoom in. Oops. Where are we? Sorry about that. I'm going to click in this spot here, and then as I come down, I'm going to end up going something like this, so I can get that hard light here with the fall off. Okay? Alright. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Whoa. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm going to start click here. And then about right here, let's go ahead and click out of there. Okay, select Control D. Now, as you can see, it has a harder light and it blends into a soft. That's typically how more or less a real light ray would actually be. And let's do the same thing here.